July 13th minutes, any changes?
I have none.
Neither do I.
All right, stand as written. Next item on the agenda, June 2023 financial statement.
Thank you. This is the financial summaries of revenue and expenditures for the City of Hayes, month ended June 30, 2023. Revenues in June totaled $11,037,000. That's a decrease of $209,000 compared to the same period as last year. Notable areas of increased revenue: federal aid in the airport fund increased $11,580 from the airport rescue dollars received. Golf course revenue was up $10,600. June marks mid-year budget transfers. Those were up $119,000 in the employee benefit fund. And you may have noticed sales tax was up $900,000. That's because of timing of receipts. A period of adjustment is made below in the report on sales tax. June residential water consumption was up 1.6%, with business up 5%. Total water revenue was up 3.5%, or $11,000 for the month. Year-to-date, total consumption is up 4%, with revenue up 5%. Notable areas of revenue decrease: airport improvement federal aid fell $269,000 due simply to the timing of receipt project reimbursements. ARPA aid was off $1,582,862. That transfer will occur in July of this year in the amount of $1,003,000, a little over $1,003,000. Expenditures in June totaled $8,447,504. That's an increase of $2,129,681. Some notable areas of increased expenditure: the aforementioned mid-year transfers increased $308,000 across all funds. A third payroll in June increased salaries across all funds $577,000. You may have noticed a credit for $602,000 capital projects. That was the developer's payment for their share of the 230th and 55th project at this time last year. Library and library employee benefit expenditures rose $183,000 year over year, and water reclamation reserve expenditures rose $173,400 for the ongoing sanitary sewer lining project. Notable areas of decreased expenditure: the purchase of replacement patrol laptops for PD and multi-gas detectors for fire department a year ago dropped public safety $10,000. And water reserve expenditures fell $237,500 due to water line improvements last year. After a period adjustment due to timing of sales tax receipts from the state, month-to-date general fund sales tax collections were at $779,272. That's a decrease of $31,211, or 3.9% as compared to last year. Year-to-date, general fund sales tax collections are at $4,779,36, up $243,000, or 5.4% from a year ago. 6-month average is at 5.4%. That's a drop of 6%. And month-to-date county sales tax collections were at $91,385. Year-to-date, county sales tax is at $569,791. The reported top 10 quarter-to-date sales tax collections by classification was up $35,000, or 1.5%. Those top 10 represent 75% of the total sales tax collections for the running quarter. And the total par value of U.S. Treasuries for June was $54.6 million, with a weighted average yield to maturity of 3.28, up 2.67 from a year ago. Total of the portfolio certificates of deposit on June 30, 2023 was $17.6 million, with a weighted average rate to maturity of 4.78%, up 4.7 from a year ago. Total balance of the money market account on June 30 was $3 million, with a current yield of 2.575, up 2.525 from a year ago, and total investments are up $4,551,286.
I move to accept the financial statement.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Reuter, second by Commissioner Barrick. Sorry about that. Is Commissioner Cunningham, is she on?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Any questions on the financial report?
No, I appreciate it.
None here.
Those interest rates always just get me.
Yeah, it's always, I don't know whether to be happy the interest rates are up and making us more money, or the fact that the interest rates are up and hurting all of us in the pocketbook.
Exactly. Okay, I'll call for the vote. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Passes 4-0. Next item on the agenda, where did I lose my, is the consent agenda. We have a cereal malt beverage license for,
Citizen comments.
oh, I'm sorry. Man, I'm off. Is there any citizen comments tonight? Seeing none. Thank you, Kim. Sorry. Wow. Maybe I need to walk out and come back. Next item on the agenda, consent agenda. First one will be cereal malt beverage for Oktoberfest, and then I have some recommendations for appointments. Linda Mages for CVB, Joe Lohmeyer, Library Board, Hayes Rec, Zach Binder, and these were just recommendations.
I move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Reuter, second by Commissioner Barrick. Comments? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Thank you. Passes 4-0. Next item on the agenda, R9 Pipeline Land Acquisition Service Agreement. John Brown.
Good evening, Commissioners. John Brown, R9 Project Manager. City staff is requesting that the Commission approve a contract with 4D Acquisition and Consulting LLC to provide pre-acquisition services related to the construction of a water transmission pipeline from the city's R9 well field in Edwards County to the city's Smoky Hill well field near Shenshin. Staff solicited proposals for right-of-way acquisition services, and 8 firms responded. I should say we actually submitted qualifications. We asked to put it out there as to who was qualified and was interested in engaging in this project. The city and Burns McDonald then reviewed those qualifications and shortlisted them down to 2 firms. And those 2 firms, along with the city and Burns McDonald team, developed a scope of services for pre-acquisition services. Through the process, we determined that we just didn't have enough information. The process, the project, the design and stuff wasn't far enough along to adequately define everything that needed to be done for acquisition to be able to put a price to it. So we limited the scope to those services that were that we could define and would march us toward developing a cost estimate and a scope that could be that a fee proposal could be based upon. And then those 2 shortlisted firms submitted their fee proposals for pre-acquisition services, and those proposals came from 4D Acquisition and Consulting with a price of $28,375, and O.R. Cole and Associates out of Missouri of $31,505. 4D is out of Michigan. The scope of services and the work plan detailed in the agreement that was included in the packet includes the management and coordination of the project, performing a market analysis to determine the cost of acquiring right-of-way and easements, services to assist in selecting the best route to run the pipeline, and then beginning populating a database and GIS software for tracking and processing all the parcels that will need to be acquired. The services I just mentioned for the pre-acquisition phase should take about 90 days to complete. After that, the team will, as I mentioned, develop a scope of services for the next phases, which would include right-of-way acquisition and construction support services. Using that scope of services, the 2 shortlisted firms, 4D and O.R. Colon, will then again submit fee proposals, and we will bring forward another contract for approval at a later date. Under the proposed pre-acquisition services contract with 4D, the fee is based on time and materials, not to exceed $28,375. So they're only going to pay for what they actually do. A cost estimate for the subsequent phases of land acquisition will be developed as part of that phase. And the $28,000 is to be funded out of water sales tax revenue. So your options are to approve the pre-acquisition services contract with 4D, provide staff with alternate direction, or do nothing. The action requested is on the screen.
I move to authorize the city manager to sign the pre-acquisition services agreement with 4D Acquisition and Consulting LLC in the amount not to exceed $28,375 to be funded out of water sales tax reserve.
Second.
Motion made,
Second.
okay. Motion made Commissioner Barry, second by Commissioner Cunningham. Any questions, comments?
John, on the 90-day timeline, was that something that they came up with, or was that staff recommended 90-day timeline?
That was something that we developed in coordination with the entire team, the consultants, plus the Burns McDonald team and the city, and that would be from the point of giving them notice to proceed. When a lot of the Burns McDonald design stuff is dependent upon the actual route that we choose to take for design of the pipeline. So getting moving on that sooner than later is important to keep the design process on schedule, and that's why we wanted to give it a time frame and not just leave it open ended.
And is that a good amount of time? to
Right.
tackle something like this?
It's an appropriate amount of time.
Okay.
John, I was just, some of the comments last week, I guess I was a little confused. Is OR colon, are they still involved in it, or it was just down to those two and then you took the lowest bidder?
Right. They're waiting on deck for the next phase
Okay.
to be able to have an opportunity. Then it keeps everybody honest in terms of just not moving forward with 4D from this point.
Right.
But we will be using 4D without OR colon's involvement through this pre-acquisition phase to develop the route selection, the cost estimating, the market analysis, and then development of that scope for so that they can put a price to the next phases of acquisition and construction services.
So I guess my question, when you narrow it down, those were the two you felt the most qualified going
Right.
forward? Is that
Yes.
correct? Okay, that's what I thought. I'm just curious.
Just a weird question. When you get the bids from out-of-state companies, does that include sales tax? Or are we not? Or do we pay sales tax on top of the dollar amount there, or is that not a? Or we don't have to pay?
Municipality, we're exempt,
So we're exempt.
Yeah.
so we would, down the road, when they get into the other project, the city clerk can issue a project exemption from the state.
I just didn't know coming from different states whether their states had regulations on what was required for their state sales tax.
It's, there's a term for that.
Point of sort or
It's where you're building at. There's a better term for that, but it's where you're building at. It's not who's building it or where they're from, it's where you're building it.
Gotcha. Okay. Great.
Any other comments? Okay. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Elena? Okay, I'm going to say 3-0 for now. Is that all right?
Aye, sorry.
Oh.
I keep having to do.
Okay, are you in favor of the motion?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to say it passed 4-0. Is that all right? Thank you. Next item on the agenda, Doonan Edition Final Plot.
Good afternoon. Jesse Rohr, Director of Public Works. Got, I think, what I consider a fairly routine plat for you to consider today, known as the Doonan Edition Final Plat. We, as city staff, had received an application for the final plat of the Doonan Edition. Properties are owned by BBJ LLC, and they have been for many years. For the most part, the majority of the property is just grassland at this time, except for the Peterbilt Doonan dealership that's on one of the lots. The final plat, which I'll show you here in a second, does meet all the requirements of the current subdivision regulations, zoning regulations regarding lot size, setbacks, and specific utility requirements. The property, as you can see on the maps here, is located at the southeast corner of 230th and 55th at the 157 interchange there on I-70. Part of the property does lie on the south side of 55th. However, there is one lot on the north side of 55th. It is divided up into 4 lots. There are 4 current tracks there. I do want to point out that 3 of the 4 lots were actually annexed into the city this past April. On your diagram here, lots or tracks 1, 2, and 4 are currently annexed into the city. There is a pre-annexation agreement for track 3 that will annex it at a future date. So here's an image of the plat itself. As I mentioned, it does contain 4 lots. I'll show you a little closer up view here. So the platted lots, they are currently zoned. At least all the 3 on the south side of 55th are. They're zoned for commercial development. The lot on the north is still zoned ag. Could be rezoned to something else in the future if the developer wishes to. The proposed plat of the 4 lots, they range in size from 4.3 acres to the largest at 9.7 acres. I mentioned that staff has reviewed the plat. We've taken the plat to utility advisory as a standard with all plats. So that committee has reviewed it. They did that back in June. Found the plat to meet the requirements of not only city utilities, but franchise utility easements and such. So the plat was taken to the Planning Commission as well. The Planning Commission did unanimously approve the plat and recommend forwarding it on to the City Commission for approval. Your options would be to either approve it as submitted. You could request any changes to the plat if you see fit, or not approve the plat. And this would be the action requested. So.
I move to approve a resolution accepting the Doonan Edition final plat.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Reuter, second by Commissioner Barrick. Any comments, questions?
No, pretty straightforward.
Yep. Okay. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Look at that.
Thank you.
4-0. Thank you, Jesse. Next item on the agenda, progress report. We like progress.
Go, Colin.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Colin Belzer, Deputy City Manager. And for progress report of July and a little bit of August, construction of the roundabout at 27th and Canterbury is now complete. It was open the morning of July 14th, and it was completed on time and under budget. Of course, there was one minor setback when we did have an issue with an unidentified driver that drove through the pour, so we did have to redo that. But the service division do a great job on the project. Appreciation does go out to John Brown for his assistant design and layout of the roundabout.
Did a great job.
Service division did repair a deteriorated area of curb and gutter near 11th and Ash. Also made some street repairs following work done by Water Resources to replace a fire hydrant. And then they also repaired pavement after a water main break at 19th and Eisenhower, as well as at 12th and Cedar. Midwest Energy did shorten the poles at the skate park to accommodate new LED light fixtures that were installed. And the new cart paths are currently being installed at the Fort Hays Municipal Golf Course. Actually, in this picture, you can see a thickened area where large equipment can cross and not cause damage to the cart paths. So we made sure to include those in the upgrades. City staff has been placing concrete spalls along the shoreline where wave motion would likely cause erosion. They're diverting the water so it doesn't pond while they work in there, but obviously with the rain, it's still finding its way in there, but should be done fairly soon, I think. And then staff have been treating trees and shrubs for bagworms. In addition to providing equipment and cabling rack space on the second floor, the recent third floor remodel of the water treatment facility for a lot of R9 type related tasks. Restoration of conference phone and large display connections were completed along with GIS visuals and a new format copier scanner. Police officers read to children on July 6th as part of the summer story time. The worksite trailer has been delivered and set at R9. Staff will be working to establish utility connections soon. And then a tour, kind of a city-led tour of city staff was done at the water resources facilities. So these were new employees, like our management analyst Jared Kuckelman, and then as well as new water employees, not necessarily new employees of the city, but John Brown and Chris Smith also participated. With assistance from Representative Barb Wassinger, the CVB helped create a resolution honoring Hayes sculptor Pete Felton for his contributions to Kansas, including limestone sculptures that he was commissioned to make for the rotunda of the state capitol. The state resolution was sponsored by Senators Elaine Bowers and Rick Billinger and was read in the State House this last April. And then pictured with Melissa is Bruce Burkholder, who manages Pete's Stone Gallery. CVB supported the 4th annual tour to Capellion. They helped sort T-shirts, assembled rider bags, facilitated packet pickup on the day of the event. They helped set up on-site registration, packet pickup, and coffee. There were 240 registered cyclists that participated on routes, and the event also boasted a sold-out bus tour. CVB provided 55 welcome packets, and on the right you can see a picture where Vice Mayor Sandy Jacobs helped for a little bit.
Oh, and she on a bike.
Make sure to ask her when she's back. As part of the 50th annual Kansas Shrine Bowl, the CVB sponsored the post-parade pep rally. They also helped with the 50th birthday bash celebration picnic on the campus where over 1,200 people attended. At the Shrine Bowl, CVB staff provided meals and drinks for the hospitality suites as well as the VIP suite for the Shriners, Shriner hospital patients, and special guest Barry Sanders. Sorry, Sean.
Sorry.
You didn't get your picture
He
either.
did. Yes, he did. That's right. Somebody had to go to work.
There you go, though. There you go. But it was
She's better looking.
it was a great success. The bid request did include planning for cheer camp, band camp, football training, hospital experience, parade, pep rally, banquet, and football game. T&T Builders continues to make good progress on street pavement replacement. The section of General Hayes from Downing to Cody has been removed. The base has been installed and they are currently pouring it back. MacArthur Street, just north of 20th to 22nd Street, which isn't shown here, was recently completed, as well as Fort Street from 27th to 29th. Curb and brick repair as part of the 2023 Streets Maintenance Program has begun. Portions of 15th Street from Walnut to Elm, as well as portions of Ash Street from Pershing Court to 19th Street will be having selected sections of curb and brick replaced. And then Morgan Brothers Construction has installed new cart paths on holes 10 and along the cart sheds, as well as holes 5, 6, 7, and 8. As can be seen in red, the areas in light blue still need to be completed. All the back 9 have been replaced now, so just those few holes left. And we have received lots of positive comments from people that very appreciative of this project. J-Corps is making progress on the 2023 waterline projects. The section of 24th Street from Canal to Hall is complete. 23rd Street from Elm to Hall is complete, and Cottonwood from 27th to 29th will start the next week. And then the new firehouse construction is continuing progress as scheduled. Block wall construction on the exterior should be nearing completion, and structural steel and trusses should begin to be set sometime next week as well. And real quick, I did want to mention, as you know, city and county staff have been collaborating on issues with peripheral roads around the city, as well as law enforcement center and dispatch services. There is a planned joint City of Hayes Commission and Ellis County Commission meeting planned for Monday, August 21st, 6 p.m. at Brief Space.
Look forward to it. I think it'll be a great meeting. Everybody be together once again, and thank you guys for all the background work you've done on this.
And agenda and packet will be released sometime next week.
Thank you.
Thank you. I hope I can sit by Neil.
I was sad. I get to sit by Neil.
I want my own chair. Next item on agenda, Hayes happenings and upcoming events. Brittany Squire.
Hello, good afternoon. I'm Brittany Squire, the marketing manager for the Hayes Convention and Visitors Bureau. And I'm happy to share with you this evening some exciting events that are coming up in our community. So first and foremost is the Gifted Treasures new and recycled art sale that is happening at the Hayes Art Center. Their opening reception is actually this evening from 5 to 8, and then the sale will be going on through Tuesday during their normal business hours. This is a great fundraiser for the Hayes Arts Council, and there's usually lots of great items available at heavily discounted prices, so be sure to check that out. I was just sharing that I was talking with students earlier today, telling them that we have live music happening in town every week. And so there's lots of great concerts coming up at the Fox Theater this month. You can see Ned Ladeau is happening, Buck Cherry, and Trey Lewis. Happening this weekend is the 40th annual Herzog Fest in Victoria. They will be featuring lots of great activities like a color run. They'll have bounce houses. They'll also have a traditional polka mass, a traditional polka music concert. There'll be German food, beverages. I also hear there will be a special commemorative beer that they have launched in collaboration with Defiance Brewing Company. So be sure to check that out this weekend.
Brittany, what's a polka mass?
I'm unsure of the specifics, but I have heard people talking about it, so it must be a tradition that they do as part of this event.
Thank you.
Yeah. Once again this month, the Hayes Fire Department will host Front Door Friday night coming up on the 18th at 7 p.m. It's a great opportunity for a family to come out and visit with our fire department employees. The Youth Outdoor Festival is coming up on the 19th. This is actually their 27th annual outdoor festival. This is available to any children under the age of 17 with a parent. It is a free event where kids are introduced to shooting sports and hunter safety, and they also get lots of prizes, and a free lunch is included at this event. A hunter's license is not required, but encouraged to participate. But all the equipment and staff will be available on site for this event. Also coming up this month is the annual Tiger Auction and Dinner at the Schmidt-Bickel Indoor Training Facility. This is the largest fundraiser for the FHSU athletics. So lots of great prizes that are donated. There is both a silent auction and a live auction as part of this event. Thunder on the Plains Cruise Night and Poker Run is happening once again in August, coming up on August 19th, and they will begin that event at Big Creek Crossing. Also, as with every August, we will have the Hayes Arts Council Fall Art Walk on August 19th, starting at the Hayes Art Center and throughout various businesses in downtown Hayes. In conjunction with the Fall Art Walk will be the Hayes Symphony first concert of the season, and that will be at the Downtown Pavilion starting at 7:30 p.m. And finally, the 35th Annual Education Appreciation is coming up at the end of the month. This is hosted every year by the Chamber of Commerce to thank our area educators. They are asking for an RSVP from educators, but the event is free to attend. And as always, for more events, check our website at visithays.com.
Thank you. Appreciate it. So, John, you said you know what a polka mass is. I heard you say that.
I do.
Tell us what it is.
It's a good Catholic mass. It counts.
The with beer in hand or what?
With polka music.
Not officially, but there are a lot of beers in hand.
That's cool. I've never heard of that. Many years I worked in Victoria. You think I would have known that? I didn't know that. So.
Remember, in heaven there is no beer.
I do know that. I do know that. So, Toby, you had some comments?
Just real quick, you probably didn't notice, but I spent the entire month of July out of the office.
What?
I know.
Really? I didn't know that.
I was working on the water transfer stuff, prepping for the hearing, and actually at the hearing. And I just wanted to express my appreciation for the commission for allowing me to do that and devote the adequate time necessary. And want to thank Colin for basically running the show while I was gone, and just kind of prove that I'm not always needed around here, because things just kind of kind of chugged along while I was gone, so thank you very much.
Well, I would argue I was down there for a couple days, and what you did for this community was, I've said this many times, I think very historic. And I mean, just what you laid out, what the city's done, what we're trying to do, to me was just phenomenal. Lawyers, city staff, whatever, all you guys did was a great job, and it was really interesting to know. And I feel like we're at this place because of what our residents have done for many, many years, conservation and stuff. And now we're just trying to grow our community, and hopefully this passes soon, and we can move forward, hopefully. But Toby, you did a great job, and I know all these guys have told you that, but you did a super job down there, and thank you.
Thank you.
Very measured, no bad language or anything when they tried to make you mad. So that was good.
He bit his tongue a few times.
Yeah, I can tell that.
That's why it take a couple days extra to let it calm down.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we really appreciate what you guys have done, all of you guys.
Thank you.
Commission inquiries and comments. Commissioner Cunningham, did you have any comments? Are you still doing okay with dropping off your daughter?
Yes, no, I'm doing good. You gotta appreciate dorm life. I'm like in a little cubby here so I could attend. But no, I just wanna say thank you to city staff that helped kind of enhance the visibility of the roundabout at 27th and Canterbury. I think that will help prevent, we haven't had any accidents, but hopefully that will help prevent any in the future. And I just, listening to those happenings makes me excited for August. And after moving our daughter into the dorms in Fayetteville today, it's gonna be good to welcome new faces to Hayes as well.
Absolutely. Well, best of luck to her.
Thank you.
Commissioner Reuter?
No, it is exciting to see all the stuff happening in August and all the cool progress that's happening. And it's nice to see R9 consistently in the progress report of things actually physically happening. That's really cool. Yeah, I'm excited for the Tiger Auction coming up. That's going to be a large, fun event.
I'll buy you a drink.
Thank you, Sean. I appreciate it. Yeah, students are coming back into town. School's getting ready to be back in session. So be wary, be safe driving, and watch out for those kiddos going back to school.
Yep, and I'd also like to point out that after our short little heat wave, the temperatures have cooled down. We've gotten some rain, and we got some pictures of some creeks and waterways actually filled up. So that's actually very exciting and good for the water and good for nature, and just makes August that much more fun and interesting. Doable. There we go. I like it.
To help out the Smoky Hill well field, the rain has to fall at the right place at the right time, and we've had a couple of those lately.
A couple of them.
And just
Very
because there is
lucky.
water in there does not mean that we do not need the R9 ranch.
Yes.
Have you talked to the? Oh, no. No. I would agree. School's starting. Please be careful. Going to be a lot of kids out there excited to go back to school. And Elena, I'm right there with you. We'll be moving number 2 into 4 days. We learned last time, going to 4 days isn't very far away, but it's a different experience when your kids move out. So it's exciting, but also a little sad sometimes. So but no, we're excited for school to start, and I know the employers are excited for all the students to come back because we need you really bad. So other than that, have a good weekend.
Mayor, sorry I was late. I was on a conference call with